Divine greetings and gratitude. Welcome to the Saiyonan Archives. If you are new here, my name is Nuna. I am the seer, the poet, the writer, the witch, the keeper, and founder of the Saiyonan Archives and of the Saiyonan Etherium. Welcome to your new spiritual safe haven. And if you are returning, hey fam, hey tribe, welcome back to our sacred space. I'm always honored, excited, and elated to be in your presence. We are going to be coming on here to do a reading, and I just want to take some time to just sit with you, to talk to you, and just see whatever comes through. Thank you so much for coming into this space, and thank you so much for trusting me to give you the messages that you may need. A quick update. We are focusing heavily on writing right now, and the reason is because that's just simply where my heart is led. That is where my soul is leading me. Well, me as a soul, that is where I'm being guided to go, as well as, of course, sitting in meditation and things like that, reflecting as the year closes out. We are in the final months of the ending of the Gregorian calendar year. However, my personal new year is coming up starting soon. And also, which is, by the way, my solar return, it's in January. Um, and then, of course, we also have the new year of the world, which will be in spring. That's really when things start to really, really, really begin anew. Even though you may be feeling that newness now, that has a lot to do with the fact that you could be in a space where you feel like you have a lot more direction, things are like a lot more clear, and you're starting to become the embodiment of something. And I feel like that's definitely the messages that we would more than likely be pulling from, other than and also with the messages of there's always another way. That was something that was coming through. I believe it was since yesterday that has been coming through. We are definitely in Sag season. So this is a season where we start to see things from a higher perspective, and we start to see things from a higher truth. And we also start to look at everything that has happened, that has come to pass, so that we can figure out, okay, these are the lessons that we learned. This is the wisdom that I have. This is a knowledge that I've received, and this is what I'm applying through embodiment. And that's exactly what we're doing. So the messages that I will be giving to you will more than likely be stemming from that, as well as whatever comes through my intuition. We're going to be writing and focusing on poetry, and we're going to be focusing on reflections that I'll have on Substack and whatever else. So yes, be prepared for writing prompts and me sharing some poems and whatnot. And I really want to get you all into the habit of reading my work, because so much of it now these days is focused around, again, just writing, immersed in the arts of poetry and magic, all that good stuff. If you need anything from the Etherium, things will be found, or a link will be found down in the description box, as well as in the comment section. The comment section is where it's at. Make sure that you leave me a love note down there. I love reading things from you. My love language is love notes and words of affirmation, apart from acts of service and things like that. So yes, thank you so much for just being here. And enough with the intro and enough with the update. Let's go ahead and get into the reading. Right now, I'm just shuffling the cards. I like to put them in 4 separate piles. When I do that, it allows me to really get a good shuffle in. I'm going to make sure to leave a link to these down below in the description box so that you can get your hands on these. I just want to let you know that you may or may not vibe with these cards, and who knows. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Whoa. Okay. Wow. That was a lot. The first card that you have coming out here is a 10 of Wands. You have the 10 of Wands coming out first. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That was a lot of energy. Yeah. They're wanting me to use all of these. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay them out, because they're wanting me to just allow all of the cards to like be what they are without changing it. Wow. So the fact that all of these cards, before I could even get a good shuffle, all of the cards just woo, and they just flew out, and I'm like, what? Anyway, just real quick, divine guides, ancestors, we thank you for this space. We thank you so much for coming into this space with us, for protecting me, for protecting the people who are listening to these messages. Please allow me to be an open vessel that receives whatever messages that are needed for my soul tribe right now. I ask that you please protect me as I immerse myself into your divine wisdom. I ask that you please allow whoever is listening to this right now to feel safe, secure, loved, adored, revered, respected, honored. May they please receive everything that they need to help them throughout their life, whether it be finances, whether it be love, whether it be relationships, whether it be partnerships, whether it be assets, whether it be resources. Please allow them to receive whatever they need right now to help them in their lives, to help them to thrive. Please block out any energies that seek to harm me or the people listening to these messages. May they block anyone out that is not serving them or means them malicious intent. I set the intention that the highest beings of the highest realms of this universe enter this room right now so that we can dive into these messages to help our soul tribe just evolve, grow, and enjoy in this life. It is so. So I feel like someone is spaced out, like they just feel spaced out. And I'm kind of getting a feeling of like someone just feels very empty. And it's interesting because normally whenever you're reading tarot, you typically look at the cards and then you can draw inspiration from the images, or things from the images light up your intuition, or some people just read the cards as they are and they apply the messages from there. With me, what I like to do is I like to keep myself open to the divine messages that you need at the moment. So sometimes the messages will come through and they will have nothing to do with what is on the altar. And I respect that. I allow that to come through because when you're doing tarot or when you're reading tarot, you are opening yourself up as a channel, and anything can technically come through, whether it be something that is positive or something that is negative, right? And this is the reason why I like to set my intention for things to come through that are going to serve the greater good, right? Because all of that is important. What I do want to say that is that I'm feeling that someone feels spaced out and they feel like they're just empty. And what I'm hearing is that this emptiness that you feel is the result of something breaking down in your life. And what I'm hearing is that throughout this time that you're feeling empty, this is the perfect time in your life where things are going to start being poured into. It's like when you have a cup that's sitting there just empty on a table and you clean it out really good. You put it in the dishwasher or whatnot, and it goes through like the heating process, and then it gets like all the impurities out, and then you fill that cup with juice or green juice or papaya juice or whatever it may be to help you, to replenish you. So there's something about someone feeling empty and now they're in a space in their life where they're being called to just simply pause. And the reason for this is because your life has been very, very, very dramatic. Like when I say that you've had a very dramatic life and it's time for you to start turning the pages, it's time for you to start moving away from the drama, from the dramatics of it all. I promise you, and I can almost guarantee you, that if you are listening to this right now, that your life is getting better. Whoever resonates with this is going to resonate. And sometimes you may not feel like that's the truth, but when you look at things from a higher perspective, you can see what caused the tower to fall, right? And then I just also heard like an inside view, and it's this is kind of weird because it's bringing me to the Twin Towers. And it's bringing me to 9/11, how there's so much other information that was surrounding it and how it had a lot to do with, insurance and things like that. And, whatever, like things being like an inside job. It's like, for whatever reason, there's something that is unsettling that's being revealed. And at that point, it almost kind of becomes impossible, or you feel that it's impossible to move on from whatever truth is being said. However, when you detach from that truth, when you detach from it and you allow it to be what it is, you can then move forward. But Spirit is saying is that you're not going to move forward without the pause. And there's something about a stillness and a pause that's happening. It's like something is being uploaded. You may be receiving a lot more downloads about something, about someone, about a situation. And now this is helping you to set on this path of truth and higher knowing and higher wisdom. There's something that's happening here where they're saying that you may feel like you're in the beginning stages, but it's not the fact that you're in the beginning stages of everything, but you're in the beginning stages of you applying wisdom and you being the embodiment of something. But there has to be some type of pause or voided space so that you can receive the downloads that you need. It's so interesting because it's bringing me to, what is that movie called? The Matrix, where they are able to upload information into them, and then they were able to get fighting skills and things like that. Like that's kind of the vibe that I'm feeling here. It's like someone's like at a pause, and it's like the stillness, or it feels like nothing is there. It's not the fact that you're not there, it's the fact that you're receiving these downloads. What I'm hearing is the words depersonalization and derealization. It's when you yourself don't feel like an actual like real being, you kind of feel like fake or like false or like robotic. And then for derealization, that points to the process of you feeling as though reality is not reality, but more so like a dream. And what I'm hearing is that this is something that someone dealt with at a very early age. I know for a fact that I dealt with things like that at a very early age, but this reading is not about me. I'm saying that because that's something that I can relate to with you. And I feel like what Spirit is saying right now is that this is a moment in time where you could be also feeling or seeing your life kind of flash before your eyes. And this Seven of Pentacles here is pointing to like a review. It's like, how did things come to be this way? And what am I going to do differently? I feel like the fact that you have the Iha of Fire, you have the Star card in reverse, you have the Ten of Fire, you have, which is, fires is wands, you have the Iha of Water. I feel like you're about to start getting some hands-on experience with something, and I feel like I just heard the words tending to. You're tending to something, and your guides are helping you to tend to whatever it is that you got going on. I also feel here that with the Wheel of Fortune, this is one of those things where, well, this is the card ruled by Jupiter, but this is one of those things where it's like, now is the time. Now is definitely the time. They're wanting you to get your hands on something. And they're also stating here is that they're asking for you to give them your burdens. They're asking for you to come to the altar. They're asking for you to pray. And they're asking for you to say, like they're saying, say it, like say it out loud. Say it out loud. There's something that someone may be feeling or holding on to, or it's like this baggage. And I'm hearing the song Bag Lady by Erykah Badu. Like that's the song. Like go back and listen to that song, because that song could be significant for you right now. And it's one of those things where it's like, if you are wanting to embody this other version of yourself, you cannot carry that baggage. You can't carry the costume. They're saying you can't wear the costume anymore. You have to take the costume off. They're saying this is not Halloween. Take off the costume. I don't know why they're saying that. They're not trying to be rude. That could be a metaphor for someone. That's a metaphor for someone. They're saying that Halloween, people have commercialized that, but this is real life for you. You can take the costume off. Why? Because you are the actual embodiment of this. Your ancestors are letting you know that you don't do this for playtime. This is your actual life. Like there are some people who dress up as witches, but you really are the witch though. Like there are some people who dress up as wizards, but you really are the wizard though. There's some people who dress up as the sorcerer or the warlock or whatever it may be, or the conjure woman or the conjure man, but you really are that though. It's like there's a difference between you pretending and you actually living it. And they're saying that you are someone that actually lives it. So because you're actually living it, that's one of those things where you realize that this is just simply a part of what you're doing. It's a part of your identity, your unique blueprint, your unique thumbprint, your unique fingerprint. And I'm seeing I just heard the word fingerprint scanning, where someone is like pressing their thumb into something. And then I just heard that that's your unique identifier. No one else will ever have that fingerprint. You are the only one with that fingerprint. So what they're saying is that while everyone is trying to pretend and figure out, you are actively being the embodiment of it, and that's what sets you apart. This could manifest as you being the black sheep of the family. I want to say the black goat, and I say that because sheep can, any animal that's like that, right? Like farm animals, like they need guidance, right? So I don't mean to compare you to a farm animal, but there's something about how they're saying, I don't want you to consider yourself the black sheep anymore. You are not a black sheep, because all that means when you really think about it, what they're saying is, and you guys are probably going to fight me on it because it's so popularized, but you are not one that stands out, but still somehow needs to be led by somebody else. Because being the black sheep basically means that you still fall into needing some kind of guidance, or you fall into this cognitive dissonance. The only thing that sets you apart is the fact that you look different. There's a different vibe to you, and it makes people uncomfortable. But what I'm hearing is that in itself is even the gateway, right? You're already standing out because you're starting to wake up to the fact that this is no longer what is required. It's no longer needed because you're waking up. It starts off as you being the black sheep or the one that stands out, but you're not a sheep. No shame to sheep, right? Like no shame to the sheep out here. I'm just saying, like you're not a sheep. Like they're saying you're not a sheep. And they say that we don't care how popular the saying is, that, being the black sheep of the family, there's nothing to be proud of to be called that. Wow, that is going to be very controversial. Wow, that is going to be very controversial. They're saying don't worry about it being controversial. So they're letting me know that, but they're also letting you know that. Don't worry about what's controversial. You don't have to identify with whatever is going on in your life right now. This is a channel, you guys. So this is a channel. You don't have to worry about what people are saying. Just do what you know to be true. They're saying to stick up for yourself. This is one of those seasons where you embody the sides or the traits of Sagittarius that speaks the truth, no matter how people feel about it. You could say it in a certain way, right? You could choose a different way to say it, but it's the truth nonetheless. What they're also stating is to avoid euphemisms. This is not a time in your life where you want to speak in euphemisms, because euphemistic vocabulary is a sign of suppression. And it's a form of suppression. Euphemism vocabulary, or having a euphemistic vocabulary, is a sign that you yourself want to keep it acceptable and digestible. And they're saying you don't need to do that. I don't even know if euphemistic is a word, but we're going to make it a word. I think it might be. But right, having a euphemistic vocabulary is a form of suppression. You don't have to suppress the truth in a way that makes people comfortable. They're saying that you don't need to do that. So there's something about you being honest and speaking it and you living it and you doing it is what's going to help. I just heard the word saving grace. Like there's a saving grace here. The hangman, the saving grace. I feel like you're letting go and you're letting God. Like not even joking. Like the energy is I'm letting go, letting God. Like I'm not a Christian. Like I don't identify as a Christian. I'm not a Christian. I know that sometimes the things that I say can sound Christian-like, but I'm not Christian, right? So when I say let go and let God, what I mean is, whether you believe in an outside God, whether you believe in a creator God or a great creator spirit, you can believe in whatever you believe in. I believe in the higher mind. I believe that we are all an extension of source, and that source of creation is something that we all have within us. We're all just kind of, dispersed in this omnipotent beauty of diversity, I guess, if you want to, for lack of better terms. So I feel like when I say let go and let God, that means let go of ego, let go of control, and let your higher mind speak for itself, and let it speak through your actions, which makes you the embodiment of wisdom. I hope that makes sense. We're going to go ahead and put these cards away. And I'm going to do one more shuffle. The Justice card has been coming through a lot. And the Six of Pentacles. Jeez. So this has everything to do. And you also have the Five of Pentacles here as well. So this is bringing me to an energy that you have Madre of Cups, Madre of Water. Wow. The Chariot is showing up as well. Okay, let me shuffle these real quick, just so I can make sure I get a good, that it's mixed up really well. So there was that message. So in this instance, what I'm seeing is the Justice card. The Justice card has been coming out a lot, and I feel like it does definitely have to do with balance, and it also deals with you finding a different way. So let's just say, okay, I don't know if y'all have ever seen Avatar, The Last Airbender. One of my favorite series, by the way. My favorite. Of course it would be, right? So basically, remember when Aang kept going, like throughout the series, he would meet with different avatars, the avatars that came before him. And remember when he was trying to figure out, like, get wisdom from them to see how to deal with the Phoenix King or the Fire Lord at the time before he became the Phoenix King. And remember how he received wisdom? Was it from was it Kyoshi? I believe it was. I think they were saying that it was something about he had to destroy him, like meaning like I guess, kill him off, I guess, because that was like the only way. And he kept saying that he knows that there's another way. And along, throughout the series, he would get frustrated. And he just felt frustrated because he was like, why is everyone telling me that this is what I have to do when I know that there's another way? And he just, eventually, like, he just had to figure it out, right? So I remember there was also what I'm being brought to is how he was afraid to firebend. And he was afraid to firebend because of that accident he had. I believe it was with Katara. So it was something about how the message is coming through now. I'm going to put this down. The message is coming through now is that no matter what, there's something that you're avoiding in your life right now that you could possibly need. And with you needing to do this, you may be avoiding it because you're afraid, or you may fear that you don't know how to handle it, or that you don't know how to wield it. It's like you don't know, or you can't trust yourself to do right by it. But if you listen to wisdom, if you listen to guidance coming from your intuition, your internal space, right? Because that's how God speaks to you. That's how your angels, your guides and whatnot, that's how they speak to you. They speak to you through synchronicities and through hunches and things of that nature, through your intuition. When you listen to that, you'll know what to do. But even then, it takes practice. And so they're saying to have forgiveness and patience with yourself as you're learning. Right? Listen to the wisdom being given to you. And not only that, the very thing that you need, that you're afraid of, it could be the very thing that you need to bring things into balance for you, to bring things into balance, into equilibrium, to help you with whatever task or whatever thing you have to do that's going to change your world. It's not about you avoiding it, but you facing it and you understanding it from a different perspective. And that's the power of a Buddha. That's the power of an enlightened one. That's the power of anyone who knows how to wield power, who knows that there is another way. So Spirit is saying that there is another way. Even when you feel frustrated, even when you feel upset, even when you feel like people are telling you, you have to do this and you have to do that. Remember, everyone is speaking from their experience, but how often do you get people who speak from a higher perspective? And you are becoming the embodiment of that higher perspective. Your guides are asking for you to trust that. They're asking for you to trust that. It's interesting that I see the Six of Wands is coming up at the bottom of the deck, right? The Six of Wands is here. The Six of Wands is a card of showing up and showing victory and being victorious when it comes to things. It also means that eyes are on you. So someone could very well be watching, right now. But Spirit is saying, your guides are saying is that let them watch, because you will be the living example of something. You are the living example of something. The Chariot card here. I see you becoming victorious over something. And I just see it. And you also have, again, you have the Hangman. You have the Hangman here. It's one of those things where you're not forcing it and you're seeing past the illusion. The illusion is that this is the only way. The truth is that there is another way. The truth is that there is another way. Are there any other messages that we need to get from this tarot deck? They're asking, okay, so the cards are kind of, I usually don't shuffle like this, but they're saying to you that they're wanting you to practice. Okay, this is going to sound so funny. They're wanting you to practice firebending. They're saying that they want you to practice firebending because fire is the very thing you avoid. They're saying you're avoiding the fire and you're avoiding the water. And they're bringing me to this yin and yang energy, but they're giving me the yin and yang in the form of water and fire. Like, that's what it looks like. Like, if you took the images from Avatar, The Last Airbender, and then you seen like how, it's not a cartoon, obviously. You see like how they did the drawings and things like that, the art. That's the type of like water and fire I'm seeing in the form of that art. But it's like just kind of, and it's spinning. And it's spinning so fast now at this point to where you can't even see it anymore. They're saying that this is you raising your frequency and your vibration. Exactly. Oh my God. Oh my God. Curandera of fire. This is you. You're being like you're a firebender. I feel like you're a firebender. Like if I had, I don't know, like who's watching this. I mean, you could really anything, right? Or you could just simply be firebending right now. What does it mean to firebend? What it means to firebend is that instead of you allowing yourself to be consumed by lust, passion, um, destruction or, sex or whatever it may be, you use the fire and you place it exactly where it needs to be. You don't allow yourself to be consumed by rage and things of that nature. Instead, what you do is you take it and you implement it in a way that's going to help to serve you. You have courage, you have strength, you have leadership skills. And so you're not trying to dominate others, but you're allowing yourself to implement the energy to where it serves a greater good. So when you're a firebender, you actively know what to do with your fire, where to put it, and how much to use and how much to keep, right? How much to keep in your own energy and your own space. That's what it means to firebend. That's the true meaning of firebending. I feel like during this time in your life right now, during Sag season, maybe go back and watch Avatar. I know I'm going to do it. Probably. It depends on how much time I have. But if I have the time to do so, I will. And let me know what your favorite episode is. If you have one, let me know what your favorite season is. Like, who knows? Like, let me know down in the comment section. But that's what they're saying. I feel, and what I'm seeing also is that with the Chariot card here, I feel like you're moving past the past. I feel like you're moving past the past. They're saying not to, you know what? Okay. Do I use these cards, Divine Spirit? Like, do I use these right now? I know I used them before, but should I use these? I just keep hearing to leave it out. So they're redirecting me. They're saying that I can use these ones though. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So these are my ancestors coming through. Actually, these are not yours. The energies that are telling me not to use certain decks, they're not your energies, they're mine. And they're doing that for a specific reason, and I have to honor that. So unfortunately, I can't use the Jade Oracle either. Thank you for respecting that. And we're just going to just allow it to be. Okay. All right. We're going to use Dia de los Muertos. Dia de los Muertos. We're going to use that deck right now. I didn't like how I pronounced it the first time, so I have to redo it. Whoa, okay. Mariachis, okay. Mariachis is what's here for you. And then you also have comida. You have food here. A part of me wants to read the book, but they're saying that I want you to use nothing but your intuition. Don't pull the book out. So I'm going to do that. Whoa. La Llorona. Camino. So I feel like looking at these cards here is I feel the presence of a storm, and I'm seeing like soup, and it's bringing me to like, they're saying like, come home, like someone is wanting you to come home, like someone misses you dearly, and they're saying that I'm so sorry for what I've done. I really wish that I had you here at home. Please accept this offering. Come home. I wish that I did better taking care of you. Please come home. Someone learned their lesson. They feel really sad. And it almost kind of makes me want to cry, because it's like, damn, like they really feel like they've been reflecting. And they're like, I want to lead you here, but I really want you to just accept this. Like, I want you to accept this if you will. If you don't, I get that. I respect it. I'm not forcing it. And I feel like this La Llorona, it makes me feel, looking at this card, is that there's a message of sorrow, obviously, but it's the pain that that La Llorona doesn't speak. It's like all I can do was put my hand on my heart and say how much I love you. It's like, it's hardship. It's hardship. And what I'm hearing is that someone wants to sit down with you over dinner and look you in your face and say, I understand from your perspective. I apologize. I did not have this, and that. And I want you to know how much that I love you. And even if our relationship can never be mended, I cannot live without knowing that I at least apologized. Because you did not deserve anything that happened. And for so long, I was in my own perspective. And I'm seeing things from a higher perspective now. And I could have done better. Thank you for forgiving me, or forgive me for not seeing that before. Forgive me for not seeing it before. And that's the energy that I'm feeling with this. I feel like with mariachis, this is one of those things where it's making me feel intuitively, it's like sad songs playing in the background while this is all happening. And it's something about the music that makes it a lot more intense. It's something about the music that makes you feel it more. That makes it more sentimental. Someone could be sending you a song that you guys felt in the past, that you guys vibe with in the past. This could have something to do with communicating to you through music, sending subliminals through music. I just heard that they're preparing a meal for you. I'm just going to leave that where it is. I'm not going to read out of the book. Yeah, I'm not going to read out of the book. I'm just going to allow intuition to just be present right now. And it is absolutely okay that I do that. So we're just going to do that. Okay. And then we have here the Ofrenda Oracle. Okay. The first card that's coming out here is called the Salt. You have the Salt here. Whoa. Right. The Scythe. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling? Check in with me right now in the comments. Whoa. Okay. So you have here the garden, the offering, ofrenda, la ofrenda, and then you have the stars, la estrellas. So it feels like with these coming out in conjunction with the cards that are here, it makes me kind of feel like there's something, especially with the sky here, there's something being cut, purged. There's a cord cutting. I think when it comes to this relationship situation, there's something that someone is probably offering you right now, and you're just like, no, I don't want to accept it. And now may not be the time to accept that. These messages, if you cannot tell by now, are layered. So we're just going to leave it how it is, the Salt. The stars. Let me see. Garden. The offering. Oh, I just heard like a public cutting, like a public severing, or like something dealing with like this garden. Can you please explain the garden, Spirit? Oh my God, the ring. Oh my God, I just heard denouncing. Oh, wow. Okay. So you're cutting off you're cutting off something or someone from the past, from a past situationship, from a former relationship dynamic and whatnot. And what you're accepting now is something that you've always dreamt of, and you are going to end up receiving the relationship of your dreams as a result of you being the embodiment of your highest self. And I feel like there is some type of offering. Someone's about to be proposed to. I'm not going to say too much on that. I don't ever want to ruin anyone's surprise. Not that I do it on purpose, but as an intuitive, sometimes I get, not carried away, but sometimes I'm just so deep into the message, I'm not saying anything past that. I do feel though that this is confirmation that someone is wanting to have live the rest of their life with you. But not even just that. If it's not a relationship, this has everything to do with you choosing to commit to something and letting go of everything else and purging and cleansing yourself from this old life so that you can be in this one presently in full embodiment mode, full throttle. Like the Chariot card is bringing me to full throttle. I also feel like you're no longer allowing yourself to feel sorry for yourself either, right? Like I feel like you're accepting the path, you're accepting the space, you're coming in, right? You're coming into something. And I feel like it's one of those things where you just have to allow yourself to be, just allow yourself to be. That's it. That's all she wrote. That's it. Wow. 10 of Earth, 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, there's something long lasting. This is definitely coming to full culmination here. I feel like this is new family, new friends, new ways of new security, right? Just new. I hope that you got what you needed out of this reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to read to you. Well, not read to you, but read for you. I really enjoyed this. This has been an interesting one. So thank you for listening and tuning into these messages. If you need anything from me, please feel free to visit me online over at the SaiyonanPath.org. Make sure that you click the link below because I will more than likely have a video that I'll be uploading to the website that is private, that's not going to be on YouTube. Make sure that you join the Saiyonan Circle so that you can receive the messages coming from that video. It will be embedded on the website. Make sure that you are subscribed to this YouTube channel because I do want us to grow. If you need any help with any spiritual essentials, I do have them available in the Etherium. You can reserve them, not you will, but you can reserve them, and I will give you the offering in exchange for a set donation, because when you support me and my ministry work, you support the ministry. That is not to be commercialized. We keep that stuff separately. Okay. And yes, send this to a friend, send this to a lover, send this to someone that you love, that you appreciate, love, that you think can benefit from this. And yes, I will catch you in my next video.